Hello, y'all. It's 8:51 p.m. Still on Sunday, January 23rd, 2022. Sometimes I'll still accidentally slip up and say 2021, but so it's almost 9 o'clock here. Another cold night in the 30s, and y'all know why I have to turn off the light. But I'm saying it for the new subscribers. Turning off the light to save storage space on my phone. And I probably can get to talk longer than 27 minutes in the dark. Um, if I need to, if what I need to say takes longer than 27 minutes. So, well, today I said I was gonna work on some writing, and I have not done any writing yet. But I've been feeling the sleep deprived feeling all day long. But if I were to try to go to sleep now, excuse me, if I were to try to go to sleep right now, then I wouldn't be able to fall asleep. So as tired and sleepy and sleep deprived as I feel. So I watched at least 4 live streams on YouTube today, and the one about prepping, I figure it'll be more important. I mean, one about prepping and another one about homelessness. And let's see, it was 2 of them related to homelessness, and one of them was related to, you know, the shortage of food on grocery shelves. Okay, so as soon as I start my video, y'all probably can't see that, but they're trying to harass me with the lights as soon as I start my video. But so my mind is kind of all over the place. I wanted to work on some writing today, but um, yesterday and today I didn't get around to doing it. But I did accomplish reading at least 3.5 chapters of the book of John in the Bible. So I feel spiritually accomplished with that. But so I understand that a lot of people don't know about gang stalking and have not heard about gang stalking. Or if you told them about it, they will laugh it off as another conspiracy theory. So, a lot of people who are truthers become targeted. I guess it's easier to target people, on social media, and then it becomes into your real life. Like, if you say something on Facebook, um, and that's, the truth, then people will, then I guess you'll be flagged and become gang stalked. I've heard some stories about that too. Whatever doesn't go along with the Luciferian satanic New World Order agenda. New World Order agenda. So, some people are targeted without even without even whistleblowing or anything. Sometimes I heard some stories about how people are just targeted and don't target it for no reason, or target it and don't know why, or target it because of, many different factors or different reasons why a person will become targeted. But anyway, I used up almost 2 gigabytes of my phone data to speed up the previous uploads because I was kind of burning up mad and felt like I just couldn't wait to release my emotions about what happened today. And then I mean, but I wouldn't have had to do that if um my phone, like the gang stalkers hogging up my phone, they hogged up my storage space on my phone. So I sped everything up because I would have done this video earlier while uploading my open talk part 2. But I couldn't. I had to speed that one up so I can do this one because that one video was it wasn't about the video, but it was the gang stalkers doing it. They're messing with me. But anyway, they're starting to harass me with brighting their lights into my window earlier in the night. As early as 9 o'clock at night now. And they do it all night long. People who are not even customers next door. So, I'll just try to turn sideways so I won't have to see them. And so, all right. So a lot of people, if y'all know about preppers and survival, some people who profess to be preppers, I've heard back in 2012, were considered targeted individuals. People who try to live off grid and become preppers, or they homeschool their kids, or anything that doesn't fit, the agendas, end up becoming targeted individuals. So, but I don't know if I should mention the name of this, one of the most popular, famous preppers in the prepping and survival community. That when I asked in his live stream about how can a homeless person prepare or, get ready, how can a homeless person prepare for the food shortages and the empty grocery shelves and stuff. And so, he got finished saying it earlier, and I see a lot of other people who claim to be preppers. They say that everyone should be prepping, storing up food, water, medicine, toilet paper, whatever you need. In the same way people prepare for a hurricane, but it's like a temporary prepping when you prepare for a hurricane in advance. So I'm surprised a lot of New Orleans people aren't preppers. And then after what we went through with Hurricane Katrina and stuff, sometimes they talk about how to survive or lessons from Hurricane Katrina. Or you hear about lessons from the Great Depression on how to prepare and survive. But this is more like look. So how to prepare and survive, but it's more like a long-term thing that people are saying stock up and prepare, and you can be prepared before the time when everybody else panic buys. So if people are saying stock up and prepare and everyone should do it, and that there is no excuse for you to not be prepping. So what I went through today was that supposed one of the top popular preppers in his live stream today, when he finally saw my question asking about, because I would ask on a lot of different videos and channels and stuff, how does a homeless person prep, or what are some ideas or some tips on how a homeless person can prepare. And some people, they say, well, why don't you find a place where you can, why don't you find you a place where you can hide food? But me being targeted, I can't hide nothing. I mean, I know from when I was, living on the streets, I can't hide my day-to-day stuff without it being stolen. So I've had a sleeping bag stolen. I've had food stolen. I had one of my favorite hand towels. It was actually two of my favorite hand towels stolen. I've had a chair stolen. I've had, and I think it was the end of July of last year, my entire book bag and stuff like that stolen. When I was living in Los Angeles, I had a lot of stuff stolen. I mean, I'm sorry, not living in Los Angeles. When I was homeless in 2018 temporarily in Santa Monica, I had, almost all my stuff stolen. And I think I even had my laptop was stolen as well. Look, this is ridiculous. So, see, they're doing this to distract my focus from what I need to talk about. So, those criminals, they all need to go to jail for harassment. All gang stalkers they deserve the death penalty. Probably worse than that. But anyway, so when I've had moments throughout my life when that somebody is holding a seminar and they have a question and answer session, or if you're in a classroom and the teacher might ask any questions, and it would always be me that, people will wait until last to call on me, but they will answer everybody else's questions. And when it comes to me, the teacher in school, whether it be elementary, high school, college, whatever, junior high, would single me out and get an attitude at my question of all questions. But when it comes to everybody else, look. When it comes to everybody else, oh, very good question. Oh, very good question, Michael. So everybody else's question is a very good question, but when it comes to mine, whatever question I have to ask, the narcissistic teacher would get an attitude or get rude with me. And they would get rude with me and single me out, and then it would leave room for the students to act like flying monkeys and gang up on me and bully me and lose respect for me because that teacher, quote unquote, clowned me in front of the whole class, or like try to humiliate me in front of the class, because my question always has to be the stupid question. So, I mean, people have like a seminar or a workshop and they have question and answer session. I've dealt with being disrespected by the host or whatever, the person who's talking or being a speaker. I've been, singled out, disrespected, and abused. And so I didn't want to go to bed ruminating about this all night or having anxiety and wait until tomorrow to talk about this because, I mean, it's not that I'm trying to be petty, but it's the idea that, I was singled out and treated rude. So, the guy in his live stream, he was talking and laughing. And, I didn't want this to be on my mind all night or me having high anxiety and lose sleep over this. So that's why I'm doing a video now. And hopefully I can rest later on. And I don't care if the video doesn't upload until tomorrow morning. I at least got my feelings and emotions out. So, when I had asked him, about how can a homeless person prepare, and he thought that was the most he acted like as if he thought that was the most insane, dumbest, craziest question he ever heard of. You know how narcissistic abusers are. So I've been afraid to even comment or ask questions on people's YouTube videos nowadays. Even if it's not a live video, it'll be like just a YouTube video. If I might question or comment on it, and it's always my question or my comment that to disappear or be shadow banned, or I would be blocked, or like as if I said something inappropriate, or anything truth related. People will make it like you're trolling on any internet forum. So people, I mean, so it's like, especially with other targeted individuals, if I join in their live stream, I get it's like they deliberately overlook and ignore me in their live stream while they answer each and every other person's questions and comments they respond to, but I'm the one who they skip over and ignore. So, I mean, even with other targeted individuals I'm talking about, but so, well, it's like I'm kind of losing my train of thought because I keep on getting distracted by the perps brightening their vehicle lights into my window, and I try to turn my head, turn my body, turn my back away, and me trying to turn my back away, they when I try to turn my back away, that's when they bright their lights even brighter on purpose. So me turning my body or turning my head doesn't really do any good. So well, this is taking me longer than I intended, but I had to give a little bit of background and explanation to me bringing it to the point that I'm bringing it now. So when one time about a month ago, I asked, well, how does a homeless person prepare with the empty shortages and the food shortages and empty shelves and stuff. And at least 5 people in the comment section, that one video, they all ganged up on me and attacked me bad enough that I was forced to delete my my comment or my question. And it's like, I've asked in other YouTube videos and didn't get treated like that. So I don't know why they all devoured me like dogs. So but it's like some of these people who claim to have been preppers, especially the popular preppers. They seem like as if they're rich with a lot of money, and show you all these gadgets and stuff like that. But I mean, I've heard stories that if you have a permanent place to live, even if you're living in a city and you call yourself trying to be a prepper, and there's martial law, then I heard that the government will seize your car, they will seize your food, seize anything you, seize your children, even seize you and take you out of the house and throw you in a FEMA camp. So some of these preppers out here walking around, even though they've been prepping for like 20 years, but they're walking around narcissistic enough to act like they think that they're invincible. And they even have like their bug out locations and everything. Like they're hardcore, top notch prepared. But they're still narcissistic enough to act like they think they're untouchable by the government. So I heard that some people being preppers, sometimes I heard that can get you put on a government watch list. Or people who homeschool their children. Or all you got to do is believe in Jesus Christ and be a Christian. But some people talk about this Bible scripture of the wise and foolish virgins, and use that to justify why you should stock up and prepare also. And others say all you got to do is just be spiritually equipped. So it's like, in my predicament, my targeting made me homeless, and not only me, but other targeted individuals. And I unfortunately do not have a vehicle, and nobody wants me driving or having a car. They think I'm too mentally slow. But I used to have a car, and I have a driver's license. So due to my targeting, I've told y'all already that when I was on Section 8 housing and I did have a place to live, a permanent place to live, I used to be able to do prepping and survival, and stock up on food, and go to the food banks like a freaking job. Spending all day and at least 3 or 4 days a week standing in the food bank lines in Los Angeles. And so when they tortured me out of my Section 8 home in Los Angeles, I was forced to leave all that food behind, and forced to leave my turtles behind. And then the landlord, who was a perp, well, he wasn't a perp at first, but then he turned into a perp. And he got mad and yelled at me and said, "You are the worst tenant." And I already told about that story, about what he put me through. So today, the prepper guy, I felt disrespected me. I felt disrespected when he pretty much in a rude way addressed me as lady. Like he was frustrated that I asked that question. But somebody asked a question and he answered it, and he wasn't even that rude when the person said, "Well, what if you don't like legumes? Like, legumes, like, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Like beans and stuff. Beans and peanuts and stuff." So he wasn't even that rude towards that person and said, "Well, what if you don't like beans and stuff or whatever?" And he said it in an explanatory and nice way to say that, don't, basically saying, don't buy what you don't eat, or don't buy what you don't prepare and stock up on foods that you don't like, because it'll already be a stressful time, and you really don't want to be eating foods you don't like during stressful times. So when it came to my question, which was towards the end of his live stream, he made it like it was the most ridiculous thing he has ever heard, and got really rude with me and said that you can't prep. And then he got mad and yelled at me and said, you need to focus on finding you a place to live. That's what you need to do. Like, and so, because I asked, well, how does a homeless person prepare? And earlier he was talking about if you feel like you don't have enough money, because there were a few other people who were saying that they may live on Section 8 or have low income and stuff, and they said that they don't have enough money or can't afford to prepare. And so he's like, well, take up a side hustle or whatever. So I asked, how does a homeless person prepare? And how do they, what side hustle can I get with no car? If I can't even get a job and stuff. And so he was trying to say that the side hustle, that if I have a laptop and a phone, he said, start a YouTube channel, which I already have a YouTube channel, but due to me being targeted, I don't think he understands really, the struggles. And I know that he doesn't know about me being targeted, and I'm not expecting him to, but I just don't like the way he responded to my questions. But I said, thank you for answering my questions, but it started to eat me up. And I got, I got offended, and I unsubscribed from I unsubscribed from his channels. On all 3 of my active channels, I unsubscribed from him for responding to me like that. And then he went to try to crack jokes about the pursuit of happiness and stuff like that. And some people like, go get a dishwashing job, or go do this, or go do that. And it's not that simple, especially when you're a blacklisted, targeted individual who nobody wants to hire. So, I don't even see other targeted individuals talking about they'll talk about the Masons and stuff like that, but and other things I can't mention on here. But I don't really see any other targeted individuals right now talking about survival and prepping. There might be some, but I just don't see any, or I don't notice any talking about survival and prepping and dealing with the food shortages. So he made it sound like he was very rude, and made it like trying to act like as if he wanted to sound like it was so simple to just get housed, just get a housing and stuff. But if he's in a different area, he may not understand the challenges, of what one has to go through, especially being targeted and being blocked from prepping. And then I guess if the gang stalkers know that you're targeted in the prepper, and if I did have a permanent place to live, who knows what they would do, to my stuff that I'm trying to, would be trying to store up. And even, if they wouldn't have bullied me out of my last place to live in Gretna, Louisiana, I had a whole back house that I could have stored, at least a minimum of a year or 2 worth of food. I had a back house that I had a house, a duplex house plus a back house, a house in the back, where I could have stored and prepared everything. But I only was able to stay there for a month due to the gang stalking. And then July 31st, 2018 was my first day being homeless. And I called myself trying to be thinking that the cab driving job would save me. And that I can just live in hotels and motels. But they gang stalked me out the driving job within 4 days. So so that's how I ended up on the streets. Well, I tried to go to shelters, but I had to either deal with shelters being bed bug infested cults. So that's how I ended up on the streets. And been battling this. This is the longest period of time to battle homelessness. And then before 2018, I didn't really have to live in hotels and motels. I think I stayed in them like in a motel once throughout the years. I may have stayed in a motel for a couple of nights, but I never before had to live long term. See, I never had to live long term, on the switching back and forth between living on the streets or staying in a hotel or motel. And by February, as cold as it is and people do not care, and it's really frightening that nobody cares, that I'm gonna end up probably back on the streets. So that guy was mad at me and yelled at me and told me that I should just that homeless people can't prep, that it's impossible. And then he told me that I should try to have the priority. He said homeless people shouldn't even be thinking about prepping or survival. He said homeless people should be focused on trying to get housing first, and which I told y'all the challenges. Because if getting out of homelessness was that easy, I would have secured me another place. But knowing me being a targeted individual and gang stalked, they would have bullied me out of my place again, or put me back to square one on the streets. And they're sadistic enough to worship the idea of forcing me on the streets so that they can laugh. And they freak out about me being, in a hotel or a motel room trying to stay safe, warm, and dry. And so the online perps, they act like as if they're envious. Talking about Candy gets all these free hotel rooms. These free hotel nights and these gift cards, and so she's a gang stalker too, and stuff like that, and making just smear campaigns and lies. So it was an agency, and I'm not going to mention the name because I don't want, the gang stalkers to burn my bridges from getting help from this agency ever again. So I don't want the bridges to be burned, so I'm not going to mention the agency name. But it's a charitable agency and not any gang stalking. I have no affiliation with the fusion centers or any of the Masons or perps or anything like that. I'm just targeted. And so it's very hard to convince people, that, they might be like, well, see? Well, at the high school, I was given a few little gift cards, and they rewarded me with that because they know I'm homeless and because they wanted to make sure I had something to eat. And also, they were, proud of my reputation for being a good worker, cleaning the bathrooms. So the online gang stalkers use that smear campaign to be like, well, Candy gets gift cards. I don't get gift cards all the time. And the system, it's like, if I was a gang stalkers don't really go and beg for help. gang stalkers, if I was making $100 an hour like the false rumors made about me, or $43 an hour, then I would have no need. If I was a gang stalker, I would have no need to be struggling or asking for money. And you would have seen me rolling around in a brand new nice car and fulfilling my dreams. I wouldn't be struggling and begging for help if I was a perp. I promise y'all. But $100 an hour? No. I mean, I don't want to make money the dirty way. I don't want to be prostituting and perping. So, I mean, the guy made it sound so easy to just get secured, and it made me feel like he was condemning me. And he wanted me to just get secured and get me permanent housing first and then worry about prepping later on. But it's a struggle to try to get me, a permanent place to live. And he tried to say, well, start up a YouTube channel, but then but it's like, I have YouTube channels, and he's like, start up a YouTube channel and do something you like. And then he said that, well, he said it took him some time to get a lot of subscribers or whatever. He said some other people blow up, really fast. But I mean, since he has a lot of subscribers himself, I'm not expecting him to know my situation. But I just wish that he weren't so judgmental, and and other people say, yes, there is such a way that you can be homeless and a prepper. But I can't store food anywhere out on living on the streets because I can't store food anywhere living on the streets because I can't store food anywhere living on the streets because other homeless people will steal it. So that doesn't seem like it's a, I guess, feasible idea or whatever. But and due to the fact that I can't ride the buses, you can only take so much stuff on a bus anyway, and I'm banned from riding the buses. And so I have to take Uber everywhere. So I can't even get access to my storage unit like that. But then my storage unit, that was the only kind of storage, the only storage unit that I was able to get. And then with that, I'm not allowed to store any food at that storage unit, and it's far and on the other side of town. So, and I had up the GoFundMe, in which the online perps bullied and harassed me until they succeeded at getting it taken down. And I've tried Patreon, I've tried Buy Me a Coffee, I've tried I have my blog. I write short stories, and so that's my attempted side hustle that the gang stalkers trying to block. And I heard other targeted individuals say that if they try to drive for Uber, then the gang stalkers turn off their app. And within the past week, I've heard about 3 targeted individuals say that, at least 3 targeted individuals, whether it be on YouTube or Twitter or wherever else, have said that within this past week, saying that the gang stalkers have tried to destroy their vehicles. So that's a scary thing too. I wish the gang stalkers would back off and leave us alone. We have a right to drive and have a car. We have a right to have a roof over our head. We have a right to live, free from harm. And these satanic rat criminals keep getting away with and they get rewarded for human trafficking us. Yes, they profiting off of us. And yes, it's human trafficking. So, due to this targeting and gang stalking, I have a a little bit of you know I'm just living day to day. But by next week, I mean before February 1st, I was told that I have to be out of here, and I've been saying that, and I have my PayPal and Cash App if anybody wants to help me out or donate. But due to the smear campaigns, false rumors, and everything, I could have had enough support that I could have ended up getting help with housing and stuff. But people had the perps laugh and brag. The perps brag and laugh about everybody turning against me because they so badly don't want me with any support, any friends, or they want me to suffer and struggle. As I said, if I was a gang stalker, I wouldn't be crying out for help. So, as much as I hate cold, why the hell would I sacrifice being on the streets in the cold just for attention or money, or like what y'all trying to say, or just for pity and to try to get people to feel sorry for me? I wish people that would understand the real struggles rather than stereotyping and stigmatizing and having biased opinions about the struggles that people are really going through. So, I mean, it's like some people think it's simple to just go get a job. It is not that simple. But I'll tell you what, if it was legal to sell lemonade without a permit, I would do that. And you wouldn't have to worry about me begging up or panhandling. But then again, I heard about if a targeted individual runs a business, then the gang stalkers tell everybody, don't go buy from her, or don't do business with him. So they sabotage everything we do. They have sabotaged my jobs, and then turn around and make it like as if Candy is crazy and on drugs or lazy and don't want to work. And they have their minds made up about you, and they have their minds made up about you, and there's nothing you can do to try to get them to change their minds. But they act like they're narcissistic enough to act like they think they're God judging and condemning you. So, a side hustle, a targeted individual try to do a side hustle, the gang stalkers sabotage it. Last month, I don't even recall having any money from my ebooks. I've been making pretty much no money from my ebooks that I tried to sell, but then I also offer them for free as well. And people are so turned away that they're not interested. They don't care. They don't want to I even offer them for free, and then people just everybody just wants to stay away from me. But I don't know of any other targeted individuals who get treated how I do. I have to be just a problem. And if I was that much of a problem, but I'm not in jail or prison. And so I wanted to say, I keep forgetting that on Twitter, an ad keeps showing toward, I think it's Progressive Insurance, keep on perping me with this fake Twitter ad saying sip on this. Right after I did the video the other day talking about, my twin sister brainwashing everybody in the targeted individual community against me. So she has a tattoo, I think, on her right or left arm. She has a tattoo called "Sip on This," and so now they're perfect. Like, I wonder how I mean. So anyway, and also I was in someone's live YouTube live stream chat yesterday, and the one of the most recent cult leaders in the fake IDMR cult name was right after I mentioned about being in a cult, and then there was a spam bot named Edward Harris, and fraudster Harris from the fake IDMR cult name was Robert Edward Harris or something like that, or Robert Harris. His first name Robert, middle name Edward, and then last name Harris. That's the narcissistic fake cult leader who yelled at me and hung up in my face after my twin sister told him a bunch of lies about me. But if that didn't happen, I probably would have still been dumb and believed in a cult. But I'm pretty much thankful that happened. So I was able to wake up and get out of that cult and turn to Jesus. But so many people try to challenge my faith and my belief in Jesus Christ that their mindset is, how is your prayer working for you? Because if prayer worked, then you would have had housing already. Or if your religion worked, why isn't God throwing money from out of the sky for you or something? And as I said, I'm not about money. I'm not really chasing money. But I'm just trying to stay safe, warm, and dry, and off the streets. And I'm trying to just, I'm just trying to survive day to day. And it's scary that people believe the lies about me and that they don't want to help. They don't want to help. They could if they could, but they just choose not to. And I have never misused or done anything fraudulent or dirty with the money that was donated to me. So if somebody donate me money for a hotel or motel just to stay out of the bad weather, then that's what I'm going to do. And I've said that before. It's really frightening how cold people's hearts are. So I even pull my hair out and frustrated. I'm like, what can I do? I mean, me staying in this motel, if the government didn't have that hurdle to where, you have to have a permit in order to sell and stuff, I could have been making stuff out of my microwave, making desserts out of my microwave and go sell them on the streets and make a living like that. But, or I could be making and selling things, and using the refrigerator or something. But and then it's like with the employment, people don't want to hire me dealing with me being blacklisted and targeted. So it's made to look like as I'm forced to depend on others for survival. And it's like, I mean, as I said, if it weren't for government control and interference, I'm pretty sure more people could have been more independent and owned their business and buying and selling from each other rather than these satanic, wicked corporations. You probably wouldn't have to worry about workplace mobbing or workplace bullying or anything, or corporate psychopaths. So they have set up and designed it to be this way to make it harder for us to survive. And people want to talk about, you're lazy and don't want to work. No. People don't want to put up with bullying and abuse in the workplace. And for such a $10, like such a low wage that you can't even live off of. So no money in the world is worth you just tolerating abuse. And that's one thing people are facing. I mean, when I first got here to Pensacola, a lot of people were telling me about being bullied and abused at work. And I'm like, wow, this is way more common than I thought. Or people talking about being exploited and mistreated at work and not making enough. But these people who own their own business, you trying to ask them what can you do, and they act like it's a secret and like they don't want to help you. Or if they being like, well, here I can help you get a real estate license. I'll pay for your real estate license, and then next thing you know, they ghost me, or they go AWOL on me. They offer and make false promises, and then go AWOL on me, and I never see or hear from them again. And it seems like as if these fake perps try to get my hopes up and have me let my guard down so that they can make false promises to help me, just so that they can stand me up, and then they take my phone number and does who knows what with it, but leave me to think that they're gonna help me off the streets, or help me with this, or help me with that. Like that Chaz Coxon guy, I met him downtown Pensacola, and I was panhandling asking for money, and so he said, he gave me his business card, I think, or he had me write his information down. I emailed him, and he told me that he had a dishwashing job for me, and he went AWOL on me. I emailed him my resume and filled out the application and sent it to him, and I heard nothing back. So, when me trying to get a place to live or try to get a job and stuff, all these doors closed in my face. And religious narcs would tell me the reason why you're going through this because you haven't been reading the Bible or praying. Again, you don't know what I do 24/7. So, anyway, I kind of didn't get to express myself the exact way I wanted to, but I'm glad I was able to get my feelings off my chest so that I can rest tonight. But yeah, I mean, most people have a YouTube channel and aren't famous. But the people who blow up on YouTube overnight, because they sold their soul and they're fake. So I mean, that guy even said it was going to take some time to make money off YouTube. So, I mean, the perps make sure that I don't even get to make it to 500 or 1,000 subscribers. And then they have my channel yanked. So, I end up not even, being able to have a lot of subscribers. And I'm speaking the truth. But, everybody who's fake and lying and conform to the world, those are the ones with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And just talking gibberish and stuff. But you try to get truth to people, or try to get people to see the world for how it truly is, then, nobody wants to hear the truth. So, I guess that's all I can think of to say on this topic right now. But before I leave, please, I need, I'm praying for whatever help I can get to get a solution off the streets. Since it's hard to try to find a way to survive as a blacklisted, targeted, disabled, female, homeless, single targeted individual with no family or friends to really support or help me. And I'm scared about being back on the streets and suffering and dying of hypothermia or anything else. And as I said, it's not that easy. And so the gang stalkers abuse me and they lie on me and smear campaign me because they're mad because I don't want to make money their way. I don't want to make money the way they want me to, and I'm trying to do it the honest way and the right way. So I'm not a perp, but they'll lie and say that I am a perp, but then they act like they want to try to get me to join. And then they got perps lying and saying that, well, if I do show proof of my gang stalking, then they'll try to be like, well, Candy is half target, half gang stalker. I'm full target and zero gang stalker. I don't get any incentives off perping people. I never got paid to harm anybody. So these lies are just ridiculous, and y'all, as I say, y'all do not have any discernment. So I stayed here all day. Didn't leave the place. I didn't even step outside today. Another day where I did not even step outside. And so, you know, and I'll be afraid to comment on people's YouTube videos because of being afraid of being blocked, or afraid of somebody saying that I said something inappropriate or something, or ask a foolish question or something. I'd be afraid to even, people are so narcissistic that I'm afraid to talk to anybody nowadays, because everything I do or say is inappropriate, bad, wrong, irrational, illogical, incoherent, makes no sense. So, and that was just a one-time thing that a few people at the school had gathered up for me. And then this agency, this organization helped me, and that was all they said that they could help me with was 3 weeks, because they said that they would be able to help me with more, but they said that they've helped other people stay in a hotel or a motel. And they say that when they help other people, then the person gets arrested and go to jail the next day, and they can't even use up the hotel room money. So that's why, and then the money goes to waste. So here I gotta suffer. I could have had more help, but because of other people's mistakes, wherever, if they went to jail, the day after having the hotel room paid for them, and good gotta suffer for the bad. Narcissistic abusers love that phrase. Makes them feel more powerful. So I'm begging for help to stay off the streets, because I'm supposed to be back on the streets before the month is out. So thanks for the help. Anything. I have my blog, I have my ebooks, my nonfiction ebooks, and short stories, fiction short stories, and just regular blogging every day. I mean, not every day, but blogging on my blog, or doing videos on my YouTube channel. And I don't get paid. I don't get any money on my blog or YouTube channel. I don't get money from monetization, because I don't have like 1,000 subscribers or 10,000 subscribers. I don't have a whole lot of subscribers, And then the online gang stalkers thumb down all my videos on purpose to suppress the truth getting out, and they ruin the algorithm so that make sure my videos are suppressed, and they think I deserve to be punished with having no exposure. But thanks to you who, do appreciate and support me telling the truth, and any thumbs up or likes or whatever. I don't try to beg or ask for likes, but I don't judge people who do. I understand that they want to get their videos pushed out. That's fine. But I just, it hurts my feelings for them to give me a whole bunch of thumbs down just being overaged bullies who need to get a life. And, I'm hurt that other targets are believing these lies about me. And I feel like I'm the most psychologically attacked as a target. That if you hear that another target is considered fake, then they're not forced to be isolated. But I do, try to reach out to other targeted individuals, and some of them, you know, automatically make like they don't trust me before they even and they don't even give themselves a chance to look at my channel and see my videos and see that I'm the real deal. But they just, the moment I comment, they automatically think, oh, you a perp, and then I get blocked with no I get blocked with no no chance to show myself as a real TI. Especially in 2019 when when everything was all new for me. When I was new to the TI as a community, and it was very hard, trying, and everybody was, I was new, and everybody was trying to call me a perp and block me, and come to find out, the ones who treated me like that were the ones who were popular fakes, who try to be a thug and a rapper, and you try to be a thug and a rapper, and then glorify yourself as God's chosen, when you still conform to the world. So thanks for listening to me. I need all the help I can get. And keep praying for me to get a job. At least pray for me to get a job. A job that will be good enough for me to get off the streets and stay off the streets, so that I can be independent and not have to, ask for anything. And pray for me to be able to be stabilized. Thanks for listening. I love y'all. And my payment information is in the description box. Good night. I'll see y'all tomorrow.